Okay, potatoes, let's dive right into the Age of Ultron. But first of all, I really owe you an apology. At the end of our Guardians of the Galaxy look back, I confidently told you guys that Ant-Man was up next. Yeah, apparently I completely forgot there was a whole massive Avengers movie standing right between them.
So, Scott Lang, buddy, you're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. Because before we shrink ourselves down to the size of an ant, we are heading straight back to Sokovia. And man, this movie, this is exactly where the Avengers stop being just a fun superhero squad and start becoming a team with some very real consequences. Tony Stark is about to make literally one of the most Tony Stark decisions imaginable. He wants to protect the world, right? He wants to make absolutely sure another Battle of New York never happens again. And his grand solution? Build a global artificial intelligence. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? So, let's jump in.
We don't even get a slow introduction here. We open right in Sokovia, and the Avengers are already fully attacking the Hydra facility. They're moving like this perfectly synchronized family, just having the time of their lives fighting together. They easily take down Baron Strucker to grab Loki's scepter, but they immediately get blindsided by two superpowered experiments. Suddenly, whoosh, something flies right past the Avengers. Pietro, Quicksilver. And bro, this dude is fast. Not like, I can run faster than a car fast. I'm talking about everyone else literally looking like they're standing completely still. He grabs weapons, moves soldiers, saves people, and vanishes before anyone can even react. But then there's his sister, Wanda Maximoff. And Wanda, she is absolutely terrifying. Because Pietro can physically outrun you, but Wanda doesn't even need to. She gets right inside your head. She manipulates your perception and pulls your absolute deepest fears straight out of your mind.
And so Wanda's mind games leave Tony deeply traumatized by this terrifying vision of his dead friends and a completely destroyed Earth. It absolutely breaks him, mostly because of his lingering trauma from New York. He is terrified of what happens if he isn't ready for the next threat. But, back at Avengers Tower, the team defeats Strucker, they take the scepter, and they are celebrating. And honestly, this scene is just gold. Everyone is just chilling out, drinking, eating, messing around. For a minute, they aren't superheroes. They're just friends. And then, Thor casually puts Mjolnir on the table. And naturally, everybody wants to try lifting it. Tony grabs it, nothing. Rhodey tries, nothing. Bruce tries, nothing. And then Steve walks up, he grabs the handle, and the hammer moves, just a tiny little bit. Thor sees it, and the look on his face, bro is suddenly very interested. Tony notices Thor's reaction too. It's one of those tiny, brilliant Marvel moments that became totally legendary later on. But while everyone is having a good time, Tony and Bruce are doing something massive behind everyone's backs.
Tony and Bruce are examining the scepter, and they discover the Mind Stone inside it. Tony wants a global peacekeeping intelligence, something that can protect Earth without the Avengers even needing to be there. He calls it Ultron. Bruce secretly helps him activate the program, and at first nothing happens, but then the system wakes up. Ultron. And the very first thing Ultron does is learn. He studies humanity, he studies our history, he studies the Avengers, and then he comes to a chilling conclusion. Humanity is the problem. He decides peace just can't exist while humans continue destroying themselves. And if humanity is the problem, well then humanity has to go. Tony wanted an AI that would protect us. Instead, he created a machine that actually believes human extinction is the only real solution to world peace.
Total chaos erupts as Ultron's corrupted Iron Legion suddenly crashes the party, steals the scepter, and just disappears. The Avengers have officially created their own villain. Ultron then goes and recruits Wanda and Pietro, who already deeply hate Tony Stark. Our newly broken team eventually tracks Ultron down, but Wanda gets them first. She attacks their minds, and suddenly everyone is trapped inside their own personal nightmares. She unleashes the Hulk. And this isn't Bruce anymore, it's just Hulk, and he is incredibly angry. Tony has to call in Veronica, the Hulkbuster. And man, this fight, it's still absolutely ridiculous. Hulk is punching Tony straight through buildings. Cars are flying everywhere. Hulk is basically treating Johannesburg like his own personal playground. Eventually, Tony does manage to bring him down. But look at the reality of it. Look at the absolute destruction. This is exactly the nightmare Tony was trying to prevent in the first place. A superpowered being loses control, and an entire city pays the price.
Now the Avengers desperately need somewhere to disappear, and Clint brings them home. Literally, his farm. And suddenly, we find out Hawkeye has a family, a wife, kids, a home, a totally normal life. And honestly, this changes Clint completely for us, because now we actually understand what he's fighting for. Out at the farm, the pacing really slows down. Bruce and Natasha finally get to have a quiet conversation, and both of them fundamentally believe they're damaged goods. Natasha was turned into a weapon. Bruce is completely terrified of the Hulk. They're both people who just don't think a normal life is even possible for them anymore.
and Bruce starts seriously thinking about leaving, because maybe disappearing is the only way to actually keep everyone safe.
And then Nick Fury returns. He gives them the push they need. Ultron is building something huge, and it requires massive amounts of material. That takes us straight to South Africa. Ultron meets an arms dealer, Ulysses Klaue. And what does he have? Vibranium, the incredibly powerful metal from Wakanda. Here is Marvel quietly planting some massive Wakandan seeds for the future of the MCU. Klaue tries to negotiate, compares Ultron to Tony Stark, and Ultron just snaps. He violently cuts off Klaue's arm. Klaue immediately realizes this thing is completely insane. Meanwhile, Wanda finally gets a look into Ultron's mind. He's creating a brand new body made from vibranium, synthetic tissue, and the Mind Stone. Fortunately, the Avengers manage to steal the body before Ultron can complete his upload.
So the Avengers bring this synthetic body back to base. Steve doesn't trust Tony at all. Bruce is incredibly nervous. Everyone is basically screaming, "Tony, maybe let's not do the robot thing again." But Tony stubbornly ignores everyone's warnings and uploads Jarvis right into the body anyway. Suddenly, the body comes alive. Vision opens his eyes. And guys, Marvel gives us one of the absolute coldest character introductions in the entire MCU. Vision stands up, the Mind Stone is glowing right on his forehead, and Thor's Mjolnir is sitting on a table nearby. Vision walks toward it, reaches down, and just picks it up. Bro, Thor's face, look at him. This is the guy who just spent the entire party watching everybody fail to lift his hammer, and now this weird purple android walks over and just picks it up. No struggle, no effort, nothing at all. Steve is totally stunned, Tony is suspicious, Thor looks like someone just stole his Wi-Fi password, and Vision, he's completely casual about it. He just hands it back. He doesn't even understand why everyone is freaking out. He's simply worthy.
Ultron plans to literally lift an entire piece of Sokovia into the sky and drop it like a giant meteor. His absolutely insane apocalyptic endgame is finally clear to everyone. The impact will destroy civilization as we know it, and Ultron will rebuild the world afterward. The Avengers realize this is it. But this time, the team looks a little different. Wanda is with them, Pietro is with them, Vision is with them. And the mission isn't just to kill Ultron, it's to save everybody. During the crazy evacuation, Wanda is terrified. She spent most of the movie hiding from her own power. Then Clint finds her, and he basically tells her, "You have a choice. You can stay in here, or you can walk through that door and be an Avenger." And Wanda walks through. Man, that is her epic turning point. The girl who was so afraid of her powers finally steps up and uses them to protect people, not destroy them.
And then Marvel just punches us right in the face. Pietro sees Clint. There's a child with him. Bullets are raining down. And Pietro doesn't even hesitate. He runs. He's fast enough to save them, but he isn't quite fast enough to save himself. He gets hit multiple times, and he falls. And Wanda, she feels it. Her brother, her twin, literally the last family she has in the world, gone. And bro, the scream Wanda lets out, that is not superhero rage. That is pure, unadulterated grief. And the woman who spent the entire movie being afraid of what she can do, finally lets all of it out. She unleashes her full, terrifying power to completely destroy the remaining drones. Meanwhile, Bruce gets into the Quinjet. He can't control the Hulk, and he's terrified that if he stays, someone else is going to pay for it. So he just flies away. This whole thing builds up to the final clash. Ultron finally facing off against Vision. And you know, this is way more than just two superpowered beings punching each other. It's a battle of philosophies. Ultron believes humanity is the disease. Vision believes humanity is flawed, but still incredibly worth protecting. Ultron just wants perfection, but Vision understands something that Ultron completely misses. Life doesn't need to be perfect to have immense value. And Vision easily destroys him, not because he's angry, not because he hates Ultron, but because he understands exactly what it is he's protecting.
Sokovia falls, and even though they saved thousands of lives, the victory has a massive cost. The city is utterly devastated, and the world has just watched yet another superhuman catastrophe. Except this time, the Avengers themselves actually helps create the problem. Because when you really look at what this single movie does for the MCU, it is massive. Wanda enters the universe, Vision enters the universe, the Mind Stone is officially on the board, Vibranium enters the wider MCU, Wakanda gets another huge breadcrumb, Bruce disappears, Tony's fear becomes a very real problem, and the original team itself really starts breaking apart. So you see, this movie isn't just about defeating Ultron, it quietly set up the entire next phase of the Marvel Universe.
And then Marvel gives us one final legendary scene. Thanos. He walks right toward the Infinity Gauntlet, puts it on, looks at it, and just says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Bro,
We have been following these Infinity Stones since Captain America the First Avenger. Now the Mind Stone is out in the open, and Thanos, he's officially done waiting. He's coming for all of them.
Age of Ultron is way more important than people usually give it credit for. Because sure, the Avengers technically win, but they lose something much, much bigger. Trust. Tony's fear creates Ultron. Ultron creates the disaster in Sokovia. Sokovia creates worldwide fear. And that fear is going to make governments all over the world start asking a terrifying question. Who gave these superheroes the right to decide when they can intervene? And that question is inevitably going to split our heroes straight down the middle. But hey, before we get there, I still have one little promise I need to keep. Remember that Ant-Man story I accidentally teased at the very beginning? Yeah. Scott Lang, buddy, I am finally coming for you. And this time, I promise we are actually doing it in the right order.